Forgiving your
Okay.
parents.
I thought you said forgetting. I'm
Sorry,
like, what?
forgiving
Okay.
your parents
Uh-huh.
and forgiving
Okay.
those people in your
Right.
life that had. So I dealt
Who
with
had like a significant impact on
yeah,
you, or
it's like I dealt with a little bit of neglect, abuse, and things of that nature when I was
Mhm.
growing up, and by reading that book, there was a line, and I can't paraphrase it verbatim. It was to the extent of that understanding that people only know what they know,
Mhm.
and they react primarily based on what they've experienced and know,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
Because of that, you have to be the adult out of the adult parent and child and forgive those individuals because this is all that they knew, right?
Mhm.
At first, I was like, what? It's like they should know better, right? People should know better. That was my first reaction. But the more I started reflecting on it and the more that I started thinking about it, it made more sense. Because when I understood that, when I really understood the fact that the people in my life only knew what they knew, right? That it was my responsibility at that point to be able to say, I forgive you,
Yeah.
right? Now, with that said, I still had to deal with the repercussions of the inferiorities, the put downs, all that psychological stuff. I still had to deal with it.
Mhm.
I still had to overcome it. But what really kind of like led me to overcome a lot of the things, it was that part about accepting them for being human and allowing them the flexibility and the benefit of the doubt of being human,
Mhm.
right? And understanding that I'm no longer in that situation and I'm no longer part of it, and that I've grown that stuff, but being able to be okay with it and let it go. And to this moment, right, even in this moment in my life, I'm close to those people, to most of them.
Mhm.
They're my parents, they're people that brought me up,
Mhm.
and I have a certain love. It's just weird, right? It's like there's no resentment there from in my end. Where it was when I first started looking into it, there was a lot of resentment, you know. But there's nothing but love now because I was like, wow, this is all they knew, you know. And even with that, they were able to sacrifice and put me in a better place, right? So forgiveness is a hard thing to. It's an easy thing to realize. I think. Well, let me rephrase that. It's not that it's easy to do. It's like it's really challenging to do. But when you start looking at it and saying, now that I understand where they were, now it's my responsibility to be able to, number one, not become the villain and do it to somebody else, or do your very best not to be that person, right? And then move forward differently in life.
So I have a question for you then.
Sure.
Why is it that, and I know I understand why, they're your parents. So you're going to do what you can to figure out the whys and try to forgive and let go and not be resentful and be angry and all these things. So why does that not to say that what you went through was easy, but why does that not apply to other people then? Because I think that there are other people, even in our lives right now, who consistently say things and do things that we're just like, what the hell, And we're just like, I'm not doing that. I'm not dealing with them. I'm not, and it's hard to sort of understand that they're human and this is how they are. And I think part of it is that we don't have to take abuse.
Correct.
But so then how do we navigate those types of forgiveness to be able to